Invasive species. The Asian carp in Lake Carey and Joe Wells.
Background. History of the Asian carp. The Asian carp first originated from bodies of fresh water in Eastern Asia thousands of years ago. For the last couple thousand years, Asia has eaten this carp in several popular food dishes. During the 1970s, Asian carp came to American waters when southern fish farmers imported them from Asia to clean their commercial pond. The Asian carp can be found throughout the Mississippi River within other surrounding bodies of water. Some say the species could even end up polluting the Great Lakes in the near future. Throughout the years, the Asian carp have also made their way up the Mississippi. They have been found in very northern areas of the Mississippi, including Minnesota and near the Great Lakes. Asian carp also have been seen consuming a large portion of prey that other species depend on, possibly killing off other species such as gizzard shads and big-mouthed buffaloes. This is the big-headed carp.
Background, basic information. There are 3 different species of bighead carp in North America. There are the noblest bighead carp, Multrix silver carp, and Harmander large-scale silver carp. There are also hybrids of these species in North America. Noblest bighead carp, specifically from China, has a common length of 60 centimeters and a maximum reported age of 20 years. Their body has numerous scattered small black splotches. Keels extend from pelvic base to anus. Multrix silver carp come from several major Pacific drainages in Eastern Asia, from the Amur River to the far eastern Russian, south through much of east half of China to Pearl River, possibly including northern Vietnam. They are a deep-bodied fish that is laterally compressed. They are very silvery in color when young, and when they get older they fade to a greenish color. The Harmander large-scale silver carp. This kind is very similar to the Multrix silver carp in where they come from and what they look like, but they seem to feed on smaller prey and organisms. This is the silver carp.
Background, basic information. Every variation of the Asian carp feeds on different prey. The big-headed and silver carp mainly feed on plankton, and the grass carp eats plants and vegetation. These Asian carp can completely destroy the numbers of plankton and vegetation along shorelines, so the many other species in the environment that depend on those resources cannot survive. The average size of the Asian carp is roughly 16 to 31 inches in size and can grow to 4 to 31 pounds in weight. This fish varies in color, but could be green, black, gold, brown, or even silver, depending on the variation. The Asian carp often have a large head with a large lower jaw that sticks out, low set eyes, situated far forward, and large upturned mouths. This is the grass carp.
Background, how they got to the United States. Many southern fish farmers in America have imported these carp from Asia in order to clean and maintain their commercial ponds. However, these fish have adapted almost instantly, eating anything from freshwater vegetation, mussels, plankton, and even other small fish depending on the species of Asian carp. Once they arrived in the United States, they immediately have been creating chaos from many ecosystems within the Mississippi and other freshwater areas, causing many to be destroyed or overrun by the Asian carp. The introduction of this invasive species not only caused many possible impacts regarding environmental or economic aspects, but also might destroy the wildlife and ecosystems throughout the Mississippi or the Great Lakes system. Which is the Asian carp's prey.
Invasive. Where do they go? Along with the many other freshwater areas along the Mississippi, the Asian carp can be found in parts of Chicago and possibly the Great Lakes, mostly in areas all throughout the South and Midwest. Asian carp are extremely hardy and also have the ability to reproduce very effectively. These fish can lay hundreds of thousands of eggs at a time, allowing them to spread into a new habitat very quickly. In the American freshwater habitats that the Asian carp have already invaded, such as the Mississippi, the wildlife were not used to living with such an aggressive competition. This makes the Asian carp very susceptible to overpopulating areas of water such as large lakes, river systems, and other complex ecosystems throughout areas of the United States. The Asian carp instantly caused negative impacts for the animals and fish that lived within the same environment. The gizzard shad and big-mouthed buffalo especially have been affected tremendously as their numbers are rapidly decreasing in these environments with invasive species. These are the commercial ponds.
Why is it invasive? The Asian carp came into the U.S. waters and completely dominated the environment, which in many places destroyed the food chain. As the Asian carp started taking over ecosystems and killing off other prey, several other species have been destroyed because the prey they depend on was taken away from them. The carp's presence in such numbers is also compromising water quality and killing off sensitive species as freshwater mussels and damaging the vegetation many species need. Fishers using young carp as live bait have also facilitated the fish's spread, as have boats going through locks up and down the Mississippi. The Asian carp are killing off many species in their environment, and this will have effects in many different ways, including population decline, economic failures, and also the extinction of several species. These are species the Asian carp are killing off.
Environmental impacts. The population of the Asian carp in several parts of the Mississippi River basin appear to be increasing exponentially. Not only will these fish completely dominate the waters, but they will end up killing off all the species in the process. If food resource becomes limiting, big-headed and silver carps may compete with species such as native planktonous fishes like gizzard shad, big-mouthed buffalo, paddlefish, and Polydon spothula. These species are vital for these waterways, as without them the ecosystems would soon fail or the environment would collapse, giving way for the Asian carp to take over. In addition to continuing the natural spread of fish farther down the Mississippi River basin, the spread of big-headed and silver carps can be aided by transportation of fishes caught by live bait, by line haulers, the seafood industry, and those practicing prey animal releases. Overpopulation.
Environmental impacts. Some other known risks that the Asian carp can cause include rapid range expansion and extreme population increase, which could decrease abundancy of native mussels, other invertebrates, and fishes. Grouse carp, for example, can eliminate vast areas of aquatic plants and vegetation. This vegetation or plant life can act as fish food, spawning areas, and nursing habitats for several species. The destruction of this type of aquatic life can potentially reduce recruitment and abundancy of life for native fishes. It can also especially decrease the population of many surrounding species as well. Asian carp pose the greatest immediate threat to the Great Lakes ecosystem as they make their way up the Mississippi River. If they are not stopped, they will eventually end up polluting the Great Lakes. This is a map of the Great Lakes.
Economic impacts. The Great Lakes sport and commercial fisheries today are valued at $4.5 billion annually, which is disregarding the indirect economic impact of those industries. Degradation of those fisheries would have some severe economic impacts on many Great Lake communities that benefit from the fisheries, such as local fish markets, bait and tackle shops, or restaurants. Hunters spend more than $2.6 billion annually on their sport in the Great Lakes, so reduction of waterfowl populations there would decrease the economic value to communities that benefit from hunting. As the wildlife within these ecosystems are reduced within the Great Lakes, there are several other negative impacts that result as well. The spread of Asian carp throughout these waterways is destroying much more than just other species and their ecosystems. It can impact a whole chain of events that goes way beyond the environment. Fishing and hunting.
Economic impacts. There are plenty of markets that exist for live big head carp in ethnic markets in the United States and also parts of southern Canada, which require transportation in live haul trucks. Silver carp have not been as prominent in the live food fish trade as bighead carp because they are not available from aquaculture and because they are more fragile to handle and transport alive. However, wild-caught silver and bighead carps are occasionally encountered in live markets. Seems to be prominently the bighead carps. These are examples of fish markets and restaurants.
Possible solutions. In order to prevent the spread of Asian carp within the Great Lakes and other bodies of water for that matter, a consortium of researchers is testing an electric barrier that they hope will repel the carp when they arrive. This electric barrier is essentially an electric fence for the fish underwater, which will block or prevent them from advancing to other waters. Fish very much dislike electric fields, a fact that biologists have exploited for years to guide, stun, and collect them for research or environmental purposes. In the United States, these small electric barriers help keep grass carp in ponds and are also used to prevent big-headed carp from moving into different waterways. It will cover some possible solutions scientists may have to protect the environment, surrounding species, and the economy. Electric barriers.
Interesting fact. Eating carp have the incredible talent to jump out of the water at almost 10 feet in the air. When the fish are close to boats or predators, they use this as a self-defense mechanism or a way to quickly get out of the way. They do this by forcing air into its swim bladder through its esophagus, thus allowing the fish to adjust its level in the water and leap outward. This is our work cited.